I didn't know. I thought they were real.
Vanya sent her wedding fund to the IRS on a Wednesday afternoon. $43,000. Every dollar she'd saved for her first wedding. At 54 years old. Gone in 4 hours because a voice on the phone said she'd be arrested by 5 p.m. if she didn't comply. The worst part? Her fiancé Stellan never found out it was a scam. He found out something else instead. Before we continue, if you're listening right now, help me prove something wrong. My mother said I wouldn't even reach 100 subscribers, but I believe stories like this deserve to be heard. Help me show her that these tales matter. Please subscribe to Deception Stories and let's keep breathing life into stories that were never meant to stay silent. But I need to tell you something before we start. This isn't a story about a woman falling for an IRS scam. This is a story about what happens when you've waited your whole life for something, and fear of losing it makes you do the exact thing that destroys it. Now, let me tell you about Vanya. Vanya was 54 years old when Stellan proposed. They'd worked together for 6 years. Same accounting firm, adjacent cubicles, casual lunches that turned into coffee breaks that turned into long conversations about things that actually mattered. He was 59, divorced, 2 grown kids who didn't talk to him much. She'd never been married, not because she didn't want to, but because she'd spent her 20s and 30s focused on her career, her 40s on her aging mother, and by her 50s, she'd just accepted that maybe marriage wasn't in the cards for her. Then Stellan asked her to dinner, then another dinner. Then 6 months later, when he proposed in the most unromantic, perfectly Stellan way possible, over Thai food, mid-conversation about retirement accounts, he just stopped talking, looked at her, and said, "We should get married." Vanya had laughed. "That's your proposal?" "I'm serious. We're good together. We make sense. I don't want to be alone anymore. I don't think you do either." It wasn't hearts and flowers, but it was real. And Vanya said yes. They set the date for April. Small wedding. The call came in March, 3 weeks before the wedding. Vanya was at work, reviewing quarterly reports when her cell phone rang. Unknown number. She almost sent it to voicemail, but she answered. "Hello?"
Is this Vanya Miklos?
"Yes, who's this?"
Ms. Miklos, this is Agent Whitfield calling from the Internal Revenue Service Criminal Investigation Division. We have a very serious matter to discuss with you regarding unpaid taxes and suspected tax fraud.
Vanya's stomach dropped. "I'm sorry, what?"
Our records show that you failed to report income from 2019 through 2022, resulting in $87,000 in unpaid federal taxes. Additionally, there are indicators of fraudulent deductions on your 2021 return. This is currently under criminal investigation.
That's not possible. I file my taxes every year. I use the same accountant."
Ma'am, I understand this is alarming, but I need you to listen carefully. There is an active warrant for your arrest. However, because this is your first offense, we're offering you a one-time opportunity to resolve this before law enforcement gets involved.
Here's what you need to know about IRS phone scams. The real IRS will never call you to demand immediate payment, threaten arrest, or legal action over the phone. Require payment via gift cards, wire transfer, or cryptocurrency. Ask for credit/debit card numbers over the phone. Threaten to involve police or immigration. The IRS always contacts you by mail first. Always. If someone calls claiming to be the IRS and threatens you, it's a scam. Every single time. But Vanya didn't know this. A warrant? For arrest?
Yes, ma'am. The warrant was issued this morning, but I'm authorized to place a 24-hour hold on execution if you're willing to work with us to resolve this today.
I don't understand. Why wasn't I notified? Why didn't I get a letter, or...
Multiple notices were sent to your address. When you failed to respond, the case was escalated to criminal investigation.
I never received any notices.
That's a common issue with mail fraud, ma'am, which is why we're calling. Now I need to verify some information. Can you confirm your social security number?
First red flag. The real IRS would never ask you to confirm your social security number over the phone. They already have it. I don't feel comfortable giving that over the phone.
I understand your hesitation, Ms. Miklos. Let me provide you with my badge number. IRS-CI-47839. You can call the main IRS number and ask to verify my credentials, but I have to warn you, if this call ends before we resolve this matter, I lose the authority to hold the warrant and local police will be dispatched to your workplace for arrest. Is that what you want?
Panic flooded through her. Arrested. At work. In front of her colleagues. In front of Stellan. No, I don't want that.
Then I need you to cooperate. Time is of the essence here.
Vanya looked around the office. Stellan was 3 cubicles away, on a call with a client. She couldn't let him see this. Couldn't let him know. What do I need to do?
First, confirm your social security number so I can pull up your file.
She gave it to him. All 9 digits.
Thank you. Now I'm showing the total amount due, including penalties and interest, is $87,240. However, if you can make a payment of $50,000 today, we can settle this case and clear the warrant.
$50,000?
I understand that's a significant amount, but the alternative is arrest, prosecution, and potentially years in federal prison, not to mention the permanent criminal record. Think about what that would do to your career, your reputation, your upcoming wedding.
How did he know about the wedding? How do you... It's all in your file, Ms. Miklos. We conduct thorough background checks in fraud cases. Now, do you have access to $50,000? I have savings, but that's for my wedding. That's...
I understand this is difficult, but you're looking at a choice between a wedding and your freedom. Which do you value more?
Vanya's hands were shaking. Can I call you back? I need to talk to my fiancé.
Absolutely not. This is your tax liability, not his. Involving him would make him an accessory to tax fraud. Is that what you want? To drag him into a federal investigation 3 weeks before your wedding?
Second red flag. Being told not to talk to anyone else is always a scam tactic. Always. I just need time to think.
You don't have time, Ms. Miklos. The warrant goes active at 5 p.m. today. It's currently 1:47 p.m. That gives you 3 hours and 13 minutes to resolve this, or you will be arrested. Do you understand?
The deadline, the urgency, the fear, all designed to bypass rational thinking. I understand.
Good. Now here's what you need to do.
For the next 45 minutes, Agent Whitfield walked Vanya through the process. She needed to go to her bank immediately, was withdraw $50,000 in cash, then go to specific locations and purchase gift cards. Gift cards? Vanya asked. Why gift cards?
The IRS has partnered with major retailers to create a fast-track payment system for tax settlements. Gift cards allow us to process the payment instantly and clear your warrant before the deadline. It's the only way to resolve this in time.
Third massive red flag. The government does not accept gift cards as payment. Ever. For anything. But Vanya was in full panic mode. Okay, which store?
You'll need to purchase $50,000 in Google Play gift cards. I'm going to stay on the line with you while you do this to ensure everything processes correctly.
You want me to stay on the phone the whole time? Yes. This is protocol for fraud cases. I need to verify each transaction in real time. Vanya grabbed her purse. I'm leaving now.
Don't hang up. And Ms. Miklos, it's very important that you don't tell anyone at the bank what this is for. If bank employees know you're under IRS investigation, they're required to freeze your accounts pending federal review. That would delay everything and guarantee your arrest. Just say it's for a personal expense. Understood?
Fourth red flag. Being told to lie to bank employees means it's a scam. Always. Understood? She walked out of the office without telling anyone where she was going. Stellan looked up as she passed. You okay? Fine. Just need to run an errand. He looked concerned. You look pale. You sure you're... I'm fine. She rushed out before he could ask more questions. At the bank, Vanya's hands were shaking so badly she could barely fill out the withdrawal slip. $50,000. The teller, a woman named Grace who'd helped her open the account 2 years ago, looked at the amount and frowned. Vanya, this is your entire wedding fund. I know.
Is everything okay?
Agent Whitfield was in her ear through her earbuds.
Remember what I said. Don't tell her the real reason.
It's fine. Just need it for vendor payments. All of it? At once? Vendors usually take checks or... Grace, I don't have time for this. I need the money. Okay, but I have to warn you. Large cash withdrawals can be targets for scams. We've had several customers recently who... This isn't a scam. I know what I'm doing. Grace looked like she wanted to argue, but reluctantly processed the withdrawal. You'll need to speak with the manager for an amount this large. The manager came out, asked the same questions, offered the same warnings. 20 minutes later, she walked out with $50,000 in cash in a bank envelope.
Good,
Agent Whitfield said.
Now the nearest target is 2.3 miles from your location. Drive there and purchase $25,000 in Google Play gift cards. Maximum $500 per card. You'll need 50 cards.
Vanya drove to Target, walked to the gift card section, started pulling cards off the rack. 10 cards, 20, 30. A store employee approached. Ma'am, are you okay? That's a lot of gift cards. I'm fine. It's just, we've had issues with scams where people buy large amounts of gift cards. This isn't a scam, Vanya snapped. Fifth red flag she ignored. A retail employee was trying to save her. She bought 50 cards, $25,000. Went to another store across town. Bought 50 more, another $25,000. Agent Whitfield had her scratch off the codes on each card and read them to him over the phone. All 100 cards. It took an hour and a half. By the time she finished, her fingers were raw from scratching silver coating off cards, and her voice was hoarse from reading number after number after number.
Perfect,
Agent Whitfield said.
The payment has been processed. Your case is now resolved, and the warrant has been cleared.
Vanya felt a wave of relief so intense she almost collapsed right there in the parking lot. So, that's it? It's over?
Almost. You'll receive confirmation paperwork in the mail within 7 to 10 business days. And Ms. Maklos, this entire matter is confidential. IRS investigations are sealed. You cannot tell anyone about this. Not your fiancé, not family, not friends. If you do, it could reopen the investigation. Understand?
I understand.
Good luck with your wedding. Click.
He hung up. Vanya sat in her car, stared at the empty gift card wrappers scattered on the passenger seat, and slowly, very slowly, reality started creeping in. Why would the IRS accept gift cards? Why would they threaten arrest before sending written notice? Why would they tell her not to talk to anyone? Why? Her hands started shaking again, but this time not from fear, from a horrible, dawning realization. She pulled out her phone, Googled IRS phone scam. The first result made her stomach drop. The IRS will never call to demand immediate payment, threaten arrest, or request payment via gift cards. If you receive such a call, it is a scam. Hang up immediately and report it to... No. No. She called the real IRS.
IRS. How can I help you?
I need to verify if I have an outstanding tax debt or warrant. After 15 minutes of hold music and transferred calls, she got her answer.
Ma'am, our records show no outstanding tax debt for you. No warrant, no investigation. If someone called claiming to be from the IRS demanding payment, that was not us. You've been scammed.
The phone slipped from her hand. $50,000, her entire wedding fund, gone. To someone who wasn't even in the same country. She drove home in a daze, walked into her apartment, sat on the couch, and realized she had to tell Stellan. She called him that night. Hey, everything okay? You left weird today. I need to talk to you about something. Okay. Can you come over? Right now? Vanya, it's almost 10. Please. Something in her voice made him agree. He showed up 20 minutes later, found her sitting in the dark. What happened? She told him everything. The call, the threats, the panic, the gift cards, all of it. When she finished, Stellan was quiet for a long time. You gave away our wedding fund? I thought it was real. Did you Google it? Did you call the actual IRS? Did you ask anyone before giving away $50,000? I was scared. They said I'd be arrested. So you just believed them? They sounded official. They had badge numbers and case numbers and… Vanya, the IRS doesn't call people demanding gift cards. Everyone knows that. Well, I didn't know that. Because you didn't think. You didn't stop for 1 second to verify anything. I was trying to protect you. And they said involving you would make you an accessory to… That doesn't even make sense. None of this makes sense. Vanya started crying. I'm sorry. I'm so sorry. I'll get another loan. I'll figure it out. We can still have the wedding. With what money? I'll borrow from my brother. Your brother can loan you $50,000? I don't know. Maybe. We can postpone. We can… Vanya. Stellan's voice was very quiet. I don't know if I can do this. She looked up sharply. What? We're supposed to get married in 3 weeks. Married! That means making decisions together, being partners, trusting each other. And you made a massive financial decision without even telling me. Because they said not to. And you believed them over me. I was protecting you. No, you weren't. You were protecting yourself. You were scared, and you panicked, and you made a choice without thinking about how it would affect us. So what are you saying? Stellan ran his hands through his hair. I don't know. I need time to think. Stellan, please. I need to go. He left. Vanya sat alone in her apartment and realized she might have just lost more than the money. Stellan didn't call for 3 days. When he finally did, his voice was careful, distant. We need to talk. Okay. I've been thinking about everything. About the money, about the wedding, about us. Stellan, I know I messed up, but let me finish. I've been divorced once already. It was messy, expensive. We fought about money constantly. I swore I'd never get into another relationship where finances were a source of conflict. This was one mistake. It wasn't just the money, Vanya. It was the fact that you didn't trust me enough to tell me what was happening. That you made a decision that affected both of us without including me. I was scared. I know, but that's exactly my point. When you get scared, you shut me out, and I can't build a marriage on that. Vanya felt her throat tighten. Are you calling off the wedding? I think we should postpone. Take some time, maybe do couples counseling. Figure out if we're actually ready for this. I don't need counseling. I need you to forgive me. It's not about forgiveness. It's about trust. And right now, I don't know if I trust your judgment. So that's it? One mistake and you're done? It's not one mistake, Vanya. It's what the mistake revealed. About how you handle stress. About how you make decisions. About what you value. I value you. Do you? Or do you value the idea of getting married more than the person you're marrying? The question hung in the air. That's not fair. Maybe not, but I need you to think about it. Really think about it. He hung up. The wedding was supposed to be in 2 weeks. Vanya canceled the venue, the caterer, the photographer, lost the deposits, another $8,000 down the drain. Stellan suggested they just go to the courthouse. We don't need a big wedding. We can do something simple. But Vanya refused. I've waited my whole life for this. I'm not getting married at a courthouse like it doesn't matter. So you'd rather not get married at all? I'd rather wait until we can do it right. And how long will that take? I don't know. However long it takes to save up again. Vanya, I'm 59 years old. What, I don't want to wait another 2 years for a wedding that's more about the event than the marriage. It's not about the event. It's about having one day where I get to feel special. You're special every day. You don't need a $50,000 party to prove that. But she did. She couldn't explain why, but she did. Because she'd watched friends get married in their 20s and 30s with beautiful weddings and expensive dresses and fairy tale moments, and she'd waited, and waited, and waited. And now that it was finally her turn, she was supposed to settle for a courthouse ceremony and dinner at Olive Garden? No, she'd rather wait, or not do it at all. 3 months after the scam, Stellan moved out of state for a job opportunity. He asked Vanya to come with him. She said no, because moving meant starting over. New city, new job, new life. And she wasn't ready to let go of the old one yet. Wasn't ready to admit that maybe the wedding she'd been planning wasn't ever going to happen. 6 months after the scam, Stellan started dating someone else. Vanya found out through a mutual friend. I thought you should know. I'm sorry. Vanya said it was fine. She was fine. Everything was fine. It wasn't. 1 year after the scam, Vanya got another call.
Is this Vanya Miklos?
Yes?
Ma'am, this is Agent Rodriguez from the Federal Trade Commission. We've recovered funds from the IRS scam that targeted you last year. We have approximately $38,000 ready to return to you, but we need to verify your identity first.
Vanya's heart jumped. She knew this was another scam. Of course she knew. She'd read all the articles, watched all the videos, joined support groups for scam victims. She knew. But what if it wasn't? What if they really had recovered some of her money? What if saying no meant losing her last chance to get it back? How do I verify my identity?
I'll need your social security number and…
She hung up, sat in silence, called back. I'm sorry, I got disconnected. What information do you need? Here's what I need you to understand. This isn't a story about a woman who fell for a scam once. This is a story about a woman who can't stop falling. Not because she's stupid, not because she hasn't learned, but because accepting the truth that the money is gone, the wedding isn't happening, and maybe she waited too long for the life she wanted, is more painful than the hope that maybe, just maybe, there's still a way to fix it. And before you say, I would never do that, ask yourself this. Have you ever held on to something that was clearly over because letting go meant admitting you'd made a terrible mistake? Have you ever chosen hope over reality because reality was unbearable? Have you ever made a decision based on fear that destroyed the exact thing you were trying to protect? Because that's what this is really about. Not the scam, not even the money, but the inability to accept that sometimes. You can wait your whole life for something and lose it in one afternoon because you were too scared to think clearly. Stories like this happen every day. The IRS impersonation scam is one of the most reported scams in the country, with losses exceeding $40 million annually. If you've been through something similar and feel comfortable sharing, you can leave a comment below or send your story privately to the email in the description. Your story could help someone else recognize the warning signs before it's too late. And if this story made you think of someone you know, someone who's vulnerable, someone who's isolated, someone who might be susceptible to this kind of fear, talk to them. Not about scams, but about the fact that no government agency will ever threaten you with immediate arrest over the phone. Ever. Not the IRS, not Social Security, not the FBI. If someone calls claiming to be from a government agency and demands immediate payment, hang up and call the agency directly using a number you look up, not one they give you. It's that simple. Hit subscribe if these stories matter to you. Share this with someone who needs to understand that scams don't just target the gullible. They target people who are scared, overwhelmed, and desperate not to lose what they've worked so hard to build. And remember, the question isn't, how could she be so stupid? The question is, would I have hung up if someone threatened to arrest me in 3 hours? If you can't answer that with certainty, then you understand why Vanya didn't.